Hi, you're listening to Engagement Drivers, presented by EveryoneSocial. Each week, we'll share actionable tips, strategies, and success stories that you and your teams can use to steer your brand, social, and employee engagement in the right direction.
Hello, everyone. Todd here, Director of Marketing at EveryoneSocial, back again for another solo episode of Engagement Drivers. Very excited to talk about this topic, 8 reasons you need a pure play employee advocacy program. So you might be wondering what that means. So for us, EveryoneSocial, we are a pure advocacy program, right? It's what we live and breathe every day. It's what we're excited to talk about. Exactly what our product does is everything employee advocacy and social selling. What it means when you're not a pure employee advocacy program is basically you're a product with a secondary feature of employee advocacy. You have the product basically to check a box. And, that's not necessarily to knock any social media management tools or any tools that do have that as a secondary feature, but there is challenges when it's just a secondary feature and not a pure employee advocacy play like EveryoneSocial. So we wanted to give you a few reasons why these organizations use someone like us over a secondary product that has this. Let's just jump into it. So first, it simplifies your advocacy efforts. You don't need an employee advocacy platform necessarily to get your workplace starting to share about your company on social media, but it certainly makes your job easier. It makes it much easier for the company to get organization together to ensure the content is relevant to people when they want to see the information, right? So you can do things like, manually sharing and tracking links in Google Docs or Excel. You can share posts via Slack or an email or some kind of internal newsletter, or use a social media tool that has that secondary advocacy feature. But here's the thing, if you use something like EveryoneSocial, you can still track all of your data. You can still get all your links tracked. You can organize your content in groups. You're able to post this information to Slack or Microsoft Teams or an internal newsletter or push notifications. Everything is done in the exact tool. So you can still ensure that you're reaching employees where they are or when they are, because not everyone is going to always log into your advocacy solution. It's just the nature of it. There's tons of technologies out there. So it kind of makes sense why this would happen. Part 2, it makes it easy to measure success. So I kind of already alluded to that about how you measure your links. But when you use a pure play employee advocacy platform like EveryoneSocial or any of the others that are out there, you'll know exactly what's shared and how much engagement it receives. Just take a look at the wealth of information available to you via our platform, for example, shares, clicks, likes, comments, reach, but also how much your program is growing. You can see how much every week, month, year, whatever it may be, how much more your employees' networks are growing. Additionally, you can see the number of users and posts, which users are sharing the most, the groups that were created, and which groups are the most popular among employees. So this gives you some really good internal insights because you can tell which kind of content is really resonating with your teams or which content might need some work, maybe what you need to focus on a little bit more. So with this, you're getting a lot of insights that, maybe a secondary can give you a little bit, but that's not their primary focus. You're not going to get the full in-depth scope of everything like you would with a pure advocacy play. Part 3, it streamlines content for sharing. If you currently run your advocacy program manually, you may have already all the content you want employees to share in one place, such as a dedicated Slack channel or a Google Doc. But again, what's great about a pure employee advocacy platform like EveryoneSocial is you have the central location for all of your content. Blog posts, videos, internal documents, internal content, imagery, GIFs, anything you want can be in this one area. This allows employees to like the content, tag their teammates, leave comments and feedback, and quickly and easily share it to their individual social networks with just a click. And that can be LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. And having everything in one place also makes it easy for this content to be pushed into Slack or Teams or your internal newsletters instead of doing all this manually, relying on multiple technologies, having to go in one part of your social media management tool, then go in your advocacy tool, then go in your email tool. It gets a bit crazy. So the goal of this is to basically make this much easier for you to organize and manage. Number 4, it protects the company. So half employees are already posting about their employer on social media, and trusting your workers to advocate for the business is key to the success of an employee advocacy program. Now, naturally, accidents can happen, as evidenced by the numerous social media blunders you can Google out there. And even social media professionals have made mistakes by accident. It happens. But with a pure play employee advocacy program, this kind of helps prevent these issues, or at least protects you, especially if you're in a compliance-heavy industry. because you can add suggested copy for sharing on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram, right? So you can already give your people the option of posting to their personal networks with the exact copy that is approved by your marketing, comms, or maybe, legal team. Or what we always prefer to is, create the content that you think is important for employees to share and create, or also toggle a button to allow them to express their thoughts in their own voice. So one of the things we always encourage is, hey, you can put some copy that kind of sets the baseline, because not everybody is an expert copywriter or knows how to exactly share social media content, but you can actually put this copy here and then allow people to put their own voice to it, right? Maybe change a few things about the copy, which is always really more authentic and just a great way to get employees thinking and learning how to kind of write their own copy. Additionally, you can do things that also ensures that your people are the ones who actually work for the company. So the challenge is, if you use something even like LinkedIn company pages, which has their advocacy tools that you can use as well, anybody can say they work for their company. And if you have a company of thousands and thousands of employees, you're not going to manually go through every employee and make sure they actually work for the company. When you're using a PR employee advocacy platform like EveryoneSocial, you have control of who's invited to the program, who's suspended, who's removed, things like that, to ensure that there isn't any miscommunication or that the right people are seeing this kind of stuff. Additionally, there's room for you to put disclosures, right? So a specific hashtag. For example, we could say hashtag I work for EveryoneSocial. That's always appended at every company share that an employee has. That way there's accountability there. You can have visibility when you click that hashtag of who's sharing, and it makes life a little bit easier. Additionally, you could put a phrase if you wanted to, although, we tend to say use the hashtag because everyone has recognized hashtags at this point. It takes up less real estate on the social posts, and people can click through it and see the other content. When you use a sentence or phrase, it looks very corporate-y, very jargony, but I understand that that might be a policy you have to implement, but you can do that. Additionally, you can upload your social media policy right into the platform, making it very easy for everybody to see exactly what the policy is and why this is important, all that kind of good stuff. So part 5, it also makes your program more effective. You likely already know there are numerous benefits of employee advocacy if you're listening to this. Things like brand recognition, driving more leads, increasing organic sharing and engagement, helping in recruitment and employer brand, and more. That's why your organization needs to prioritize employee advocacy, even if you're just emailing links and tracking performance in an Excel sheet. But when you invest in a platform specifically designed for employee advocacy, it takes your effort to the next level. It drives more traffic and leads, builds brand trust, inspires your employees to share more. In fact, a survey of 6,000 EveryoneSocial users found that people who use the platform shared 38 times more content over a 6-month period. And why is that? Because the program is tailored towards success. It's tailored towards the individual employee to find the content that matters to them. And it's a place where they want to engage. It's a place where they want to be a part of the gamification leaderboards or be part of this community that is internal to the company. 6, it also lets you easily scale your program. So right now, you may have no difficulty manually managing your advocacy program, and that's fine. But as your organization grows, or you see the value of employee advocacy and you want to expand more teams, a tool will actually save you both time and money because it permits you to easily and effectively scale. So no matter how big your team is, EveryoneSocial has a solution that'll work for you. And that's even if you get started for free. As you know, we do have a free version of the platform forever. And then you can upgrade to Teams, which is a paid version, self-serve, or you can move to Enterprise. But if you need help budgeting or any other kind of issues or questions around this, feel free to reach out to our team at any time. Number 7, it also makes advocacy rewarding. As I kind of hinted before, we have these leaderboards and gamifications, and most advocacy platforms will have this built in. And what's great about this is it's helping to motivate people who are basically not motivated by their personal brands or don't really care about expanding their networks. Obviously those are exciting things, and some people it helps them progress their careers and grow their networks. But others, that they need more motivation. And that's where the leaderboard and gamification features that encourage employees to share and engage with content. So now you have this fun competition where you can do different things, where you get on top of the leaderboard, you can see your rank, how many points you've generated, basically making it a fun little competition internally. Now, some organizations also use this to further incentivize contests by giving away prizes, which could be anything from a day off, lunch with the CEO, to gift cards, even bigger prizes. We've seen people give away tablets, or bigger gift cards or anything that's a little more expensive. Now, you don't have to do that, and people will still get engaged if you don't have these big prizes, but it's an option for you. And then number 8, it comes with ongoing support and training. I think this is one of the biggest key aspects of a pure employee advocacy program that sometimes people overlook or aren't thinking about. So, for example, again, traditionally, most that have employee advocacy as a secondary feature or a box that they want to check as far as their social platform, it doesn't come with the ongoing support or the training on the employee advocacy side as you would with a pure play program like EveryoneSocial. For example, we live and breathe this day in and day out. Our whole goal is to make you successful, to grow your results, no matter what that may be, and find success with advocacy. If you're using a tool that's in the social media management space, that's their focus. And the advocacy thing is kind of a side note where they can probably suggest a few articles, but they're not going to be a priority. They're not going to add tons of amazing features because you're getting that part of your package or you have this at an extreme discount because you use their social media tool. With us, we don't only provide your admins and users with training, but we provide things like quarterly business reviews, best practices, ongoing learnings via webinars, monthly newsletters, and more. We also have other services like pro support and managed services, which do a lot more things to help your program be successful and allow our experts to help guide your program to the right place. So that's one of the most important things, I think, and probably the biggest feedback that we've gotten is that the support is so powerful. A lot of times we've had people who become customers, start to realize like, wow, this support is really important. And usually when you have a program and support in place, that's when real success happens. A lot of times people want to try this manually, but they want to use it as a secondary thing to say they're doing it. But then the results are just very lackluster or they don't seem to work like they think they should. And they quickly give up on the program and say it doesn't work. However, I think with our track record of some of the best companies in the world that we work with, if you take a look at our clientele, companies like Qualtrics, T-Mobile, Facebook, you name it, are using our platform in various ways and finding massive amounts of success really quickly. And, these companies could have gone to a platform that's more secondary to them, but they came to us because they recognize the world-class experience that they're going to get with a pure program like this. Now, maybe you're thinking this isn't the right thing for you yet, and that's totally fine. You're more than welcome to try to do things manually or to use a separate tool where it's a secondary feature, or just sign up for the free version of EveryoneSocial and just give it a go just from there to learn the ins and outs of it. But we're more than happy to, chat with you to explain how our process works, how our program is beneficial, and really why you should come to a pure advocacy program. There's a lot of great integrations here, lots of ways to make sure that people in your company are seeing your messages, seeing the content, and building this internal community around your program. So hopefully that makes a lot of sense to you. I'm very excited about, this topic. I think we're all very passionate about it. If you want to learn more about it, we also wrote a blog post about this too that you can find on our blog, or you can type in everyonesocial.com/blog/pure-play-employee-advocacy-program. Thanks, everyone. Until next time, we'll see you later.
Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with more engagement insights. Want to know how EveryoneSocial can provide you with the tools needed to keep everyone at your company connected, informed, creating, and sharing? Visit EveryoneSocial.com to learn more.